Hey, this is Bill Romer from Piano Fast, and today we're going to talk about Barry Manilow. Now, don't turn off the video. In fact, we're going to talk about one of the last things that comes to mind, probably, when you think of Barry Manilow, and that is Boogie Woogie Piano. Now, normally I get requests for Copacabana when I'm playing dueling pianos, and sometimes I get requests for other Barry Manilow songs. He's arguably one of the greatest songwriters of the last 40, 50 years. Not just from his hits, but also from commercial jingles like the old McDonald's jingle, "You Deserve a Break Today." I am stuck on Band-Aids because Band-Aids stuck on me. And the State Farm jingle, "Like a Good Neighbor, State Farm is There." Those are all his melodies that he wrote. And he's probably still making money off of those. But today we're going to talk about Boogie Woogie Piano. And these are actually a few licks, both in the left and right hand, that I feel like I should have included in my Boogie Woogie Piano course that I released at the end of last fall. So I thought I'd just do it in a free video bonus lesson here, and a tribute to Barry Manilow, that great Boogie Woogie piano player. Actually, he was a great piano player and composer. So let's jump right into it here with "Jump Shout Boogie" is the song that made me think of these licks, and they sound really cool, but they're not that complicated. So first of all, we're going to start with the left hand. And in Boogie Woogie Piano, there are a number of licks that can be done in the left hand, some complicated, some not. In this particular song, he does one that kind of moves, it's sort of, I think of it like a figure eight or like an infinity symbol. It kind of rolls around. So we're going to do it in the key of C here, in octaves, all right? And we're going to just alternate rocking back and forth on these notes. So we'll start low and bounce up to high, like that, for every note. And then we're just going to move these around. So we go from C down to A, B flat, and B. So it's chromatic. So we start on C, we jump down to A, and we jump up in half steps. That. All right. Now, in fact, at one point, he does a little syncopation with this. So instead of rocking up on that last B natural, he jumps right to the next C to anticipate the beat. Like that, okay? Now another one he does with the left hand, it goes up and comes back down. Or you can jump up to the E flat too. So the first one, not crazy about, but it's really just the flip side of the one we did below. And I'm not even sure that he uses that one ever, but it's one that comes to mind for me because it's just naturally just flips the first one over. But you can also jump up to the E flat. Which to me sounds better. Like that, okay? Now another little variation is he just walks up like that. So again, you can combine that with the first one. And let's try that with the E flat also, shall we, to make it more of a blues kind of sound. Like that, okay? A couple really easy left-hand bass riffs for you there. So again, we've got that first one. Just by itself. And then we've got the inverse of that we can add to it. Whoops, I missed my D flat. Then we can change that E natural to an E flat. This is probably my favorite of the bunch. Like that. And then we have the one that just goes up and comes back down. And the E flat version of that, the more blues version. All right, so there you go. And I've got one right hand riff for you here too today. And I love this riff because it's really full and it sounds complicated, but it's really pretty easy. And it sounds like this. When I play it with the left hand, with that very first riff, here's what it sounds like. All right. Now we can even play it with those other riffs. Like that. All right. So let me break this one down for you. It's very simple. You have to switch your hand position once while you're doing this. So to get more power out of this chord, it's just a C major chord in first inversion. So with the E on the bottom, E, G, and A, I always like to play that with my thumb and index finger and my pinky up top. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to play 30-second notes. That gets you down to the next note very quickly. You play 4 notes very quickly to get to the D. But you need to roll down, and there are 4 of them. So you're going to need to switch your fingers a little bit. Unless you do a really quick, which I don't think is the best fingering for this. What I like to do is when I play those 4 notes, I like to have my pinky, my 5th finger, 4th, my ring finger, middle finger, number 3, and index finger. And they end up on C, A, G, and E, which is a C6 chord, as it turns out. And that's what we're going to roll down those 4 notes to get to the D with our thumb. All right. And then we come up to D sharp. And then we play those 4 notes again. E, G, A, C. And we end on a C major chord. Just those 3. Or I suppose you could play the C6 chord also. So we do them very quickly though. So we play it here and then switch our fingering. Yeah, in fact, I do like playing the full C6 chord there. I think it has a nice sound. All right, so let me do that again slowly. So we start with the C major chord there. Then we quickly switch our fingering so that we have pinky on C, ring finger on A, middle finger on G, index finger on E, and we end up on the D with our thumb. And then the next 8th note we play is D sharp with our index finger, and then pull our thumb under to E and back up using those same notes, G, A, C6 chord. We end on the very last 8th note of the measure, so it's syncopated. So all right, so when we add in that left hand, it goes so the key is to get to that D at the same time you're hitting the A in the left hand. That's where you need to end up. So that's how fast those 4 notes need to come. All right, and from there, once you keep this rhythm going, this riff in the right hand, you can just switch up the bass lines however you like. That one where both hands are syncopated and anticipate the first beat of the next measure. You can do the inverse one. That was the one with the E flat, the blues one. You can also do the one that goes up and comes back down. Whoops, forgot my D flat there. Let's do the one with the E flat. I have not had enough practice with this riff. There we go. That's the one that walks up and backs down. All right. So that's it. There you go. That's the main riff from Jump Shout Boogie, which is a great song. You really should look it up and check it out. I don't know. I like that song a lot, but I especially like this boogie woogie riff that Barry Manilow gave to us, and now I'm giving to you. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if it's the right time of year on the calendar here, there may be a special running, as there is right now in late August of 2017 on my Boogie Woogie Piano Fast video piano course. So be sure to check the description field down below this video to see if that's the case, or you're welcome to purchase it outside the sale times too. But I thought you might be interested in this free bonus lesson that is a good accompaniment for that video and that course. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Bill Romer from Piano Fast. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.